Everybody see our little, let's just give you guys some humor before we start a dry subject.
Here, like that one.
Right.
Everybody done?
They had to read them all.
All right. Now we'll get into the hard bit. Go ahead, Karen. All right, so does anybody know how far back the register and roll existed?
Here or in
Like,
In life. In life.
Oh, I bet in the 1800s.
It dates back to the 15th century. Yes. And
Shit right there. I know. She doesn't look that old, does she? She looks good.
so basically, I mean, obviously the role has evolved, but maintaining the integrity of academic records was the original back in the 15th century was what that was about. So most of you know, obviously, what we do. I know it's funny when I tell people what I do, they just look at me. And my dad still says, I never knew a registrar before, because he doesn't know what else to say, because he doesn't know what I do. So he says it because he just thinks I sit and register students all day. But obviously, we do more than that. So we're serving alumni, we're serving existing students, incoming students, faculty, staff. We'll get into what we do later, but basically, we're serving, I always say, like, we're like the spoke of a wheel, so we're serving the whole community. So I'm not gonna like read the vision statement to you, but I wanted to just put it up there to start. Go ahead. All right, so now I'm gonna just talk a little bit about my background, and then we'll talk about staff's background. So I started at ITT, I think in 2005-ish. Yeah, 2004 maybe. I was in financial aid, that's where I got my higher ed start. And in 2008, I became the registrar there. And I wasn't looking for a job, but somebody came into my office one night and said, did you know Central Penn's looking for a registrar? I said, no, I think I'll apply. So that's how I ended up here. I'm also a backup for Romeo for designated school official for CBIS. So basically filling out the I-20s for the international students. Subject matter expert-ish in Nexus. Member of the Central Penn Executive Council, chair of the Morale Building Committee. I earned a Bachelor of Science from Messiah College in 1991, and then it took me a long time to go back to school, but finally got my master's here in 2015. I was part of the first cohort, so that was pretty exciting. And I live in Mechanicsburg with my husband and my dog. Now, Nancy has a great history with Central Penn. Is she next? Yeah. Yeah, she is. Okay, I have to make sure. So, Nancy's from Minnesota, for those of you who don't know.
Minnesota? Oh, yeah.
Minnesota School of Business, and her career started in court reporting, which I believe you came here to be a court reporter, but then happened to find out about this.
Oh, yeah, I actually wasn't happy in Pennsylvania. And anyway, I worked for Mr. Monaco in Reading. He was not happy in Reading, PA. And anyway, he called Central Penn to find a replacement for me. And Kathy Logan was head of the court reporting department at that time and asked if I would be interested in being an instructor. You never know where life is going to take you.
So she was here from 74 to 81, and then took 9 years off
9 years,
for
yeah,
her
with
kids.
Yeah.
And you just happened to call here, asking if somebody could be a reference for you, and they were
Right.
like, oh, do you want to come back?
Yeah.
So here she is. And she's been in the records office since.
Actually, I have a longer history now in the records office than
Than
we
you
do
did.
court reporting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's got 5 cats. The
Yeah.
cats are mentioned before the son in Shippensburg and the daughter in Florida. Because they're her babies.
He's there.
Is there?
Yeah, he's there.
Oh, yeah. Hanging there, probably still
Some of those
sleeping.
cats were stray from Central Penn.
Yeah, but yeah.
What started it all.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a history here also, a bunch of them, yes.
Henry is the one Janice found.
Janice,
of
yep,
the dolphin.
yeah, Zoe was a stray, and Millie was Lynn Schuster, and yeah, I can't remember, yeah, so.
The cats haven't been
It's true.
All right, go ahead, Karen. So then Stephanie is from Florida. She worked at ITT also in financial aid, so she and I have a very similar background. That's how you got your start in higher ed.
Yeah, started as a receptionist.
Yes, and then moved
I
to
made it there. I made it to financial aid.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was just thinking of Mary Tyler Moore. She made it there.
I made it there.
Nobody knows who Mary.
Yes, and Nancy, don't you have your claim to fame is you were at that exact spot where she threw her hat up, right?
Oh,
Yeah, she
oh,
said
yes,
I made it there.
yeah.
I made it there.
Oh, I went to
after all.
school in Minneapolis,
She
oh,
doesn't know Mary
yeah.
Tyler Moore.
Those were good times.
In the 70s.
It was in the 70s.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Only certain ones know. She wouldn't know.
so anyway, so Stephanie came here in 2015, and the rest is history. I mean, she had the same background that I did, and I knew that she could be trained in the records office. Once you know higher ed, you can be versatile. So.
Well, and the psychology degree probably helps too, just that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It might. I don't think it does.
Can't figure it out.
And then we had with Bernice. So Bernice isn't here today. I didn't drag her the whole way in. She primarily works at home. She has been here, well, she's been the transfer evaluator, the main one, since 2005. Stephanie also assists with that in addition to helping Nancy and I with everything else. But that is Bernice's main responsibility, is evaluating transcripts and assisting with our articulation agreements. She also lives in Mechanicsburg with her husband and 3 children. Don't think she has any animals anymore. She just has children.
Her husband's also an alum.
Yes, Bernice is an alum too. That's right. Thank you for reminding me. Yes.
That's true, Sharon.
Yeah, she and her husband, well, then boyfriend, came here together and lived here. So, yeah, so she just basically never left.
But she worked on campus for a while too.
Mhm.
Yeah, in the
Yeah, I think
dean's-
that's what she, in the dean's office,
Yeah.
which is our office now.
Right,
Yes,
yes.
yes. Giving you guys all kinds of history. All right, next one. So, we do a variety of things, but I just tried to sum it up. We are processing transcript requests daily, maintain the academic records, maintain the academic calendar. We do room reservations for faculty, staff, and outside parties. Stephanie and Denise do transfer evaluations. I maintain the course schedule in Nexus, which is our student information system. Handle the course program changes. We do enrollment verifications. We handle FERPA, which I'm going to talk about FERPA in a little while. We confer degrees, we order the diplomas, we change student statuses, we plan the commencement ceremony and execute it. And we also assist current students with registration and register new students in conjunction with, now we have the Advising Center to help us with that. And then I obviously have to submit reports to the National Student Clearinghouse, which is really fun. Because it's not just uploading reports, it's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, while they're claiming that there's numerous errors, and Veronica knows she has to help me with that.
Yep.
So, okay. Oh, you know what, they won't be able to see that. That's just the student status flow. If anyone ever wants me to send that to you in a PDF, I can do that. But basically, it just starts with how a student starts in the system and how they could possibly end up. Graduate, withdrawal, dismissal. So just wanted everyone to see it's a lot more detailed than people realize, and it's a lot of statuses to keep track of. Okay, so what I tell people is if you guys have questions, the best thing to do is email records and registration, our distribution group, so that any of us can help you with any questions you have. Because I may not be at my desk, sometimes people just email me and I'm not there, but the girls can help too. Room changes, if you've got to change something in Astra, you can't do that, I can. So just email me and I'll make the change. Some people go in and they try to figure out how to make the change and it's not possible because only an administrator can make a change. if someone requests a transcript, we're the only ones that can provide a transcript. I realize that some people do have access in the system to print a transcript, but we're the only ones that should be providing transcripts for students, because we have to have it in writing, or they have to show ID, so our office is the one that has to do it. Students, for returning students or transfer students, of course, advisors would tell them use the transfer evaluations. Because I don't know if everyone knows this, but the degree audits don't work. So the best thing to do is to use the transfer evaluation. I know the advising team has come up with their own template. I don't think they're calling it a roadmap, but they've come up with a template to help students, instead of the degree matrix, which was a little confusing, and the roadmaps, which are a lot confusing, they came up with their own template that I believe is really helpful. And also, if you ever, those of you who are in Nexus, if you ever don't see a document, or even the faculty portal, if you don't see a document in there, let us know, because we'll make sure that it gets in there. All right, so now I want to talk about FERPA.
Can I ask a question, Jen?
Oh, sure.
Sometimes during open registration, when students are trying to register, if they're having trouble doing something they think they're supposed to do, I always send them to your office if they're in the library and ask us.
You can send them to us or the advising center,
Okay.
either way, because we're all doing the same thing. So, yeah. I mean, some of them might feel more comfortable going to the advising center because one of them might be their advisors, and so they have a relationship with them, but you can send them to us too.
And that they're like, my advisor told me that I'm supposed to take Math 105, but I can't find it, I can't get it to come up, or
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
we can help them with that.
I always send them to you guys.
Yep, that's fine. All right. So, I want to know if everybody knows what FERPA stands for. So you have two choices, A or B. What do you think? It is B. Some people, I've heard people say federal, and it's not. It's the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. Next one. Does anybody know when FERPA rights pass from the parents to the student? 18 or attending post-secondary school. Yep. So I know that's hard sometimes for parents because they think, well, I shouldn't say most, in some cases, parents are paying the bill or paying part of the bill and they think they have rights to know everything, but they don't. In high school, you can ask anything you want, but not so much when you're in college. But we do encourage people to sign a form listing who we can speak to, and that's very helpful. And you guys can see that on the faculty portal. You know that all. If you see a big red F at the top of your portal, you can click on that and it'll tell you who you can speak to. If you don't see the red F, it means they haven't signed anything. Okay. All right, one more FERPA question. Can we disclose information relating to drug and alcohol violations to parents or guardians without the written consent of the student?
You weren't supposed to be in
The
it.
answer is yes. If there's any kind of violation, drugs, alcohol, you don't need the student's permission to speak to the parents about it. Now, you can't say, oh, and by the way, they got an F in their science test, because that's not related to the drug and alcohol violation, but.
So if I'm a student, can someone call my mom if I'm drinking on campus and I'm 45? Or is there like a...
It is a violation, it is a college policy. You cannot drink on campus. I don't care how old you are.
Hypothetically, if I was a
Hypothetically.
student here and I was violating one of those, is someone gonna call my mom who's...
No, I'm gonna call Stephanie.
Like, up to a certain age, that we're still gonna call people's parents? Because on one hand, we treat them as adults, on the other hand, we're like, we're still gonna call your mom. Like,
Depends
Is there
on how
like a
badass
problem?
the mom is.
she's like, I hate you. Like,
I suspect it's mainly students that live in housing that's referring to. But you could be a commuter, I guess, but
I don't know, I'm just trying to-
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Megan obviously has firsthand knowledge of that.
Yeah.
So don't call me.
No, I won't. I don't have her number. I'm not gonna call your mom. I guess whoever's listed in your emergency contact list. Do students have that?
Oh, man.
Don't call her either.
We're just gonna call the police.
I couldn't
You're on.
make sure.
Police or mom, what do you want? Some, yes, some.
Yeah, probably, depending on the parents.
Depending on the mom.
Yeah. All right, so I just want to open it up for questions now. Anything? Yeah, I think I saw something. Oh, yeah.
Is there ever, or any discussions in terms of some of the streamlining, some of the processes of the forms? And the forms I'm alluding to are prereq waivers and course substitutions. Like, has there been any conversations in your area about moving forward with those, and maybe trying to figure out an easier way to process those on? Because I feel bad when I come over.
Yeah, I mean,
They're not our forms.
yeah,
So
we just have
you
to maintain them.
You just have to do the registry since the student is unable to do it if it's prereq waiver or repeat or
When you
whatever.
say streamline, like make it like so it's an automated process.
Not even so much that, maybe instead of having to print a form and hand sign it, to do it digitally.
Well, I mean, we have DocuSign now, but I don't know. I know that's expensive. I don't know that they want to use every.
It has to go to multiple people too,
Yeah,
right?
it's very multiple.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I was just wondering if that had ever come up.
No.
Okay, that
But
answers
you
my
guys
question.
can. I mean, you don't have to walk them down to our office. You can.
That's not the issue.
It's the issue somebody's losing them in the process.
It's just, it seems like it's a little complicated of a process that doesn't need to be.
Oh.
Especially for the prereq waivers. For the course subs, I understand that's totally different, but the prereq waivers, it would just be nice if it was easier on you to have to put that process through.
Yeah.
Can you do a workflow?
No.
No, there's no workflow.
That's kind of what I'm asking. Maybe long term for that, maybe that might be a suggestion that,
Yeah.
see if that's even possible.
Because Steve would do it.
Maybe or like.
Oh, Mike,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, we can certainly ask. I'm sure it'll go to the bottom of the priority list, but.
It will now, Steve's out.
Steve's out, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so it will now.
The
No,
one
yeah.
thing, sometimes people think that just because a chair signed off on a prereq waiver, that the system automatically knows that the student can take that class now, and it's not, it's manual. That's why you have to give it to us, because we have to register the student.
But other than that, it's not our form. It's my understanding the deans
Yeah.
came up with that. And they,
There's nothing wrong with the form, I'm just.
the
it would-
process.
Yeah, it'd just be easier to do digitally.
They do not bother us, Paul.
I,
Uploading those forms are not a problem.
But that would
I
be
know you
nice,
feel bad.
though, if we could just, if it was in a workflow and we wouldn't have to scan them, we could just hit done and it would upload. Talk to Mike about it.
How many people sign those these days?
no one. Very, very rarely, very rarely.
No, doesn't the dean and
Students.
the chair and the
Students.
student? Like,
Prereq waivers, you don't need the dean's signature now.
But the chair has to somehow, yeah. Anybody else?
I was trying to come up.
smoke.
I was over here thinking, I have a headache, but I was trying.
That's all right. All right, that's it. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.